Good morning. I know it's kind of a little bit weird because it's cold and it's sunny at the same time. So I have one of my bonus mom's homemade creations by Dolores vests on. Isn't it gorgeous? But so glad to have you here for my weekly hashtag Monday Motivation with Dr. Marissa, where we talk about how to be happier than maybe we are on a Monday and have some happy 88 tools to take you on through this week. And grateful to have you all with me. Thank you, Joey, for sharing the post that it was coming up. And I'm going to do the comments here just in case. If you are here, please check in because I can't tell who's on until you put a comment, and then I can give you a peace in and peace out shout out. And today we're going to talk about hashtag COVID silver lining. Uh, a lot of us are feeling hopeful, which is good, that the light at the end of the tunnel is not that of an oncoming train, that there is hope, that we are coming out of this, that 2020 clear vision or unclear vision is almost over, even though it's 2021. So I thought we would take today to do the same thing that I do when I coach with past pain. How can we take what happened to you and make it what happened for me and turn that whole train around that sometimes will take us off of a cliff when we only focus on things that are not good, not working, that are painful, that are tragedies, which there's a lot around. So that's what I thought we'd talk about today. So please do share. Um, Actually, I should be sharing this to my different groups, but this is what happens when you're a one woman band. I just can't get everything prepared, but I'm happy to have you. And again, put your name in the chat, and that way we can have it. Also, this is not like my Friday show where I actually have a guest and we have a topic and I don't get to interact. So I wanted a place where I could actually interact with you, and that's here. All right. So we're going to breathe in for those that are on right now. So this is how we always start with me, is connect through breath. So if you could put your feet on the ground, palms up in your lap, gently taking a deep breath in through the nose and releasing. Soft shoulders, soft elbows, soft knees. Another deep breath in and releasing all the stories and the drama. And one more deep breath in. Connecting with me through Chi, eternal energy, the breath of life that connects us all, no beginning, no end. And release. As you release, gently open your eyes. And we're back. We're here. We're in the present moment. We're in the gift. So we're going to see what COVID has brought for us today. I know it's a little bit of a reach, but I spent a little time writing down this morning all the money that I've saved in this last year. So I'd like you to do this exercise with me and just take out a pen and a piece of paper, or in your notes section. I can't do it because I'm on the phone. But these are the categories that I had, and yours you can add. I'm happy to see if you have any in additional to mine, so we can up the number. But just to give you a little hint, I have totaled a savings of $15,360 in this last year of the pandemic. So in 1 year, that's how much I've saved. So how have I calculated that? So coffee, one is the I estimated like 4 times a week I would go to Starbucks. So that's $5 each time. And then at home, instead of having 2 cups of coffee a day, I actually cut down to 1. So that's half the coffee, half the creamer, half the K cups. And so my total coffee savings was $140 a month. So go ahead and calculate that. If you're a tea drinker, if you went off altogether, it's even more. I still have 1 cup a day because I love my coffee in the morning. There's something so delightful about that. So I'm not going to take that away. Gas driving, right? And I have a little, my little Mazda Miata convertible is Panda, and so I've saved. I think this is actually more than $60 a month. And thank you for joining. A few more people just joined. It's Dr. Marissa here with your hashtag Monday Motivation, and we're going through hashtag COVID Silverliner, how much money we have saved in this last year as one of the highlights or something we can focus on every time we get sad about what we've lost. So, and if you've just joined, I just see you, but I don't know who you are. You're just an eyeball. So if you could write in the chat who you are, then we can have a little conversation that's a little more personal than my Friday shows. All right. So $140 a month on coffee. I've saved $60 a month on gas. And that's $40 a month on my Metro Pass for driving. $40 on parking, which is probably conservative too, because I have clients downtown. Mani-pedis, $100 a month. My hair, my accessory, $100 a month. Chinese reflexology, which is another one of my joys, $100 a month. Facials, $100 a month. Eating out, again, I think this is a little conservative, but it's $480. So that's what I put down. Clothes shopping. And I know a lot of you are going to say, come on, Dr. Marissa, you spend way more money on clothes. And great to see you all marching in. Can you put your name in the comments so that I can say hello personally? We're talking about hashtag COVID Silverlining, how much money we've saved. And I'm calculating with you. And the categories, I just did my last one, clothes shopping. So coffee, gas, driving, Metro Pass parking, mani-pedi, hair, reflexology, facials, eating out, clothes shopping. And my big total is, drum roll, $15,360 that I've saved. So let me know what your total number is so we can spread the word about how there is a COVID silver lining. So that's one thing, is the money that I've saved. What other things have happened as a direct result of COVID that you can actually be appreciative of? Now, for those of you who don't know that I am hashtag positively opinionated, as April will name me, April 5 feet. She calls me hashtag positively opinionated and hashtag relentlessly inspiring. So what we're doing today as part of Monday Motivation is, before we run back into normal or run back into the way it was, I don't want to leave this year without the lesson. What is the lesson for us? What can we be appreciative of? What can we be grateful for, also known as COVID silver lining? So I've saved money, $15,360. What is another thing? And this is a question actually that I learned from my big brother, Michael Bernard Beckwith, who said, and this applies not just to COVID, this applies to anything in your life that you really, if you could have had a choice not to have happen, like COVID, we all wish that we didn't have had happen this last year. There's value in asking the question, in this circumstance, in what happened, exactly as it happened, was there anything that was developed that I appreciate? So that's a question that Michael Bernard Beckwith asks all of us in the Agape community. And I have taken it as part of my hashtag Blissipline. I actually had it on a Post-it note by my mirror so that every morning I could take whatever situation I was in, good, bad, ugly, um, beautiful, and ask me what is being developed. So in COVID, in this last year, what was developed in me that could not have been developed or was on steroids developed as a direct result of being in a pandemic? So um, I have to say that well, y'all know I'm a recovering overachiever and control freak and perfectionist. And my life uh, a a year and a month ago, I was on the road, um, running around. My average number of miles I would go a day, I think it was about 150, 200 miles a day. I would, um, how many things can I accomplish that day? Hi, Kathleen. Oh, great. She says, my COVID bonus is an excellent spiritual practice. My relationships are excellent. Beautiful. So thank you, Kathleen. I would love whoever's on to be writing down their COVID silver lining. So, Kathleen, I don't know if you heard the original, what I was talking about money wise, too, to figure, I'm curious is have people saved as much money or more money than I have? When I calculated it out, I came out with $15,360 with the coffee cuts and the mani-pedi cuts and all of those things that I didn't do for a year. Not saying that I won't go back to it, but at least I'm cognizant of how much that I've spent. So the money part is certainly something I can celebrate. Definitely less shopping. Now the double-edged sword is the people who counted on us to purchase and consume are hurting. So I don't want to make light of that or pretend that that doesn't impact. Everything impacts everything. But for me, in this particular exercise, this is for anyone who has just begun to um, lose it because it's been a year. Um, so I wanted to give us some tools to balance out the losing it with what we have gained. All right. So another thing that I have gained is the comfort in not running around, is the comfort in being still, in the comfort in just sitting and enjoying. You can hear the birds in the background, and I preach stop and smell the roses and the flowers and the fertilizer. And, the name of my show is also Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It. So a little guilty sometimes of not practicing what I preach. But in this pandemic, I have discovered that I really like my own company. I really enjoy being by myself. I started doing jigsaw puzzles again. I really enjoy just having the solitude and the quietude with just me, myself, and I. And I think that's such a gift. And I think that the crazy hamster wheel existence that many of us were on because of the pandemic, it forced us to just sit and be still and know thy heart and know thy mind, to say, am I good with me? 88% of the time, am I good with me? And I could answer that question with an absolute yes. So that was a silver lining for me too. Relationships. Kathleen saying her relationships got better. I actually, my take on this for me was, I realized that I didn't need as many relationships that I thought I did. So it's kind of weird. I used to feel like less than, because I didn't have that best friend from high school or the best friend from elementary school or the best friend, that I could call every single day and talk to, or I didn't have that really, my BFF. And I used to feel bad about that. I used to feel like I was missing something. And so I would try to have relationships, and they most often would crash and burn. And what this pandemic has taught me is I do have really solid relationships with not, you know, a dozen people. I have my bonus mom and dad. I have my two daughters. I have my niece and her hubby, my favorite boyfriend, I call him, and my a friend from 27 years ago that we talk once a week. So that is a lot of friends. That is a lot of close relationships. I don't need a plethora of people, and that's what I was doing. Oh, let's get lunch here and let's get lunch there. Now I have another circle of friends that I actually, if I needed them, I could call them and they would drop everything. Donna Bruton, my ladybug, Dr. Patricia Lopez, so I have the next, I don't talk to them all the time, but I know that they're there for me. So this clarity around friendships is definitely my COVID silver lining. So if you want to sit down today, I want, this is a practice for the week. If you would like to sit and just reflect before we pick up the running, the running back to what it was. So hopefully I've given you something to think about in gratitude and appreciation for COVID, instead of constantly looking at when is this going to be over and this has hurt so much. It is true. It has. It absolutely has impacted us in many negative ways. But if you can, as Abraham Hicks will say, on every end of a stick, there's the side that you don't like, and which helps you realize what you do like. And so I'm once again hoping that you're drinking my rose-colored Kool-Aid to look at what it has brought, what the pandemic has developed in you and brought into life. So definitely, I'm even more positively opinionated than I used to be. I've had to really, stand my ground and refusing to allow things to get worse. But I'm hoping that you will drink that rose-colored Kool-Aid. I hope that you will take the challenge and write down. I'm going to be putting a post up with all of the things that I have experienced in a positive way during the pandemic, and I hope you join me too. All right, and that's it for today's weekly Mind Your Own Business, because that's the only thing you really can control, with Dr. Marissa. And thank you for joining me. Feel free to share this later. Also, let's see, what can I show you that you can get involved in? I am speaking. Oh, it's on my other one. Oh, here it is. Let's see if I can find this. Yeah, at the end of this month, it's a really, really great conference, and I was an opening speaker last year, and they were kind enough to ask me again. So if you are concerned about all of the violence and the trauma and the shootings, then you'll want to register for IVAT, Institute for Violence, Abuse, and Trauma. And of course, support my opening speech, but it's a great conference that has lots of empirical studies looking at all different ways of the trauma and healing from trauma. So if you know anyone who's also in this particular could benefit from it, please do have them go to ivat.org and register. All right, and if you shop at Amazon, please go and subscribe to Smile Amazon and make your purchases through Smile, and go to 8 Ways to Happiness. You just put that in the search bar, and that link, you'll get the same thing that you want to buy, except you will force Amazon to give a tiny little bit to my nonprofit. So I appreciate all of that, helping me with that. And you're tuned into Mind Your Own Business with Dr. Marissa every Monday at 10 a.m. on Facebook and 10:30 a.m. on IGTV. And this Friday, you're going to really want to come to this. Let's see, here it is. Oh, that's not going to work. So my show on Friday, those of you who know, is Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It. And this week we are going to talk about Asian American hate. I have Deputy Chow coming from the LAPD to talk about what we can do when we witness or when we are seeing something. And also Councilman John Lee from the Valley. I wanted to pick some local leaders, Asian leaders and I think he's going to bring a panel, so you won't want to miss this Friday at 3 on my KCAA, my CNBC NBC News Radio channel at 3 p.m. And that's it for today's Mind Your Own Business with Dr. Marissa. I hope you have the best week ever. Go to drmarissa.life. Asian Oprah giveaway for today, if you happen to be on this, is a copy of my #1 bestseller, 8 Ways to Happiness audiobook. So just let me know. Go to drmarissa.life and say Asian Oprah giveaway, and I'll give you the promo code for that. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Dr. Marissa reporting live from Mind Your Own Business every Monday. #Monday Motivation. We'll see you next week. Or see you Friday.